ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, babe.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, babe.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, babe.
Yeah.
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. It's all a hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, make money, money, money.
It's hard out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for a real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy news today. Let's get it. Mondays and Tuesday shows are always going to be a little bit slower. You already know. But make sure you stick with us. We're coming at you Monday through Friday. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube. And we're on my YouTube channel, Fantasy Football Hustler. We are also on the GMM network. My man Bogard Scott Freeze channel. What up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, just feeling good. First Monday. You know what I mean? Hell of a Sunday of football.
Hell of a Sunday. Famous Jameis, baby.
He's a
Or as
beast.
I like to call him, infamous Winston.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, and before we talk about Winston, got to shout out my man Taco representing the Daily Sporting. If you guys don't subscribe to his channel, go subscribe to Daily Sporting, and you're going to be able to find all three of us inside the Facebook group, the Fantasy Football Advice for Experts, Gurus, and Beginners. Bogart Scott Free will be in there real soon, I promise.
Yeah, in like 40 minutes.
Yeah. So why don't we start with that famous Jameis Packers game? Most of the news is we're gonna be talking about injuries. There's nothing breaking like right this second, so we'll get a little bit of reactions. And my son came in here just to make sure he knows that I need to
Hustler Junior.
Yeah, say what up?
Young Huss.
All right. So famous Jameis, Bogart switched it around to where he thought that it was going to be Taysom Hill. I thought that it was going to be Jameis Winston. Those little drills that he's been doing, they work to perfection. Only 148 yards, 5 touchdowns though, big time.
No interceptions. That's even more big time in my opinion.
Yeah, he had one.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah, man. I thought he had none. Even still, 5-1 still isn't terrible. That's pretty damn solid.
For Jameis, that's fucking amazing because he is the pick six president. He's trying to campaign. He's finally realized that those touchdowns don't count for him. So he's like, okay with just throwing regular picks now.
Well, he knows that if he's going to mess up, he'd rather just get the ball back right away. I think that's what it is because we already know those INTs, especially the pick sixes, they get him going. He didn't need that extra motivation yesterday. He was hitting it just right off the bat.
And he was doing so much more work in the middle of the field, which I feel like is a good sign, especially for Michael Thomas owners. The slant king shall return.
Well, and think about this, like historically, he like the system that he was drafted to with Dirk Cutter, they always featured a tight end. You know what I mean? Like they had receivers, but like as much as possible, they would feature Cameron Braid or Austin Span Jenkins, shit like that. And like he would favor these guys. You know, OJ Howard, they drafted him high in the first round. Like he would look for these guys. So, this is also just Sean Payne being smart, like playing his strengths. He is great over the middle of the field, and then he can uncork it. But they, of course, limiting that is important because when he was with Bruce Arians, you know what he liked to do? Bruce Arians liked to go down the field. So, and he wasn't afraid. He would just pat him right on the ass, get back in there. Yeah, fuck 5 picks. You know what I mean? He was letting him do it. There's a fairly short leash here. So, you know what I mean? The play calling, the play design, the 25 scripted plays they came in with, it was all to play his strengths, and he executed well.
And we already know the way that they're going to do it over there. They're going to be efficient. He was definitely efficient because he didn't even throw it a grip yesterday. They just did what they needed to do to win the game. And if we go to the other side of the ball, the Packers, I mean, this is not a good start to their last dance. That's all I'm going to say.
I have a theory. This is not Aaron Rodgers. This is Darren Rodgers. Whoever this guy is with this long hair, this like hippie. This is not Aaron Rodgers. And if this is what it is, like, you know, does he need a chip on his shoulder somehow? Like, hey, let's start in the hole. Are we gonna get him to spell shut up this time instead of relaxing? Like, listen, everyone, SHUTUP. You know what I mean?
You know,
like this is Darren Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will be back, and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think you also have to remember he didn't have the same kind of offseason that we normally expect out of a guy, because he was dealing with so much more. He was even contemplating retirement. So to me, that just shows you don't have quite the same edge you had off the last season, and that's mainly because there was problems with management. So do we think that maybe this is a situation where, you know, he won't have the best season, but he'll have a good season, you know, get them to the playoffs, but something where maybe they don't look to re-sign him. You know, maybe he's just not locked in like that.
They restructured him. So this is how it is. He has this year and next year, and it's designed for him to get traded next year. And it's a double design, because whoever trades for him, they're going to have to extend him because they're only, you know what I mean? So it's designed for him to have this last dance, then get traded somewhere and get big money again, right? Mm-hmm. This is not helping his cause. But football shit, like when you get to real football shit, Bakhtiari wasn't there. You know what I mean? They have a rookie center, or not a rookie center. They have a new center because Lindsley's gone. These are big things when you run a zone run scheme. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't get the run going, which they couldn't against a top 3 run defense, you're not going to be able to play action people to death. You know what I mean?
And let's not act like the Saints don't have one of the better defenses in the league. They didn't for the longest time, but last 3 years, that defense has been what's winning them games.
Since
it wasn't really
2017. Since 2017. And that correlates with the last time. That's when we stopped seeing the Drew Brees, you know, damn near 5,000 or 5,000 yard outings. You know what I mean?
And practice is so much different than real game speed. And let's face it, with no preseason, this is like their preseason. Like, he has to get his feet wet.
And I like that idea of him having a chip on his shoulder and just starting behind the 8 ball, because that just means he's going to do better. If we can say we just saw the worst game of his season, like, I'm okay with it. You know, it's only can only go up from here. There is no doubt.
I will say this too. If you consider the fact that, like, he balled out and he had long hair, I would have been like, the hair, bro. It's the hair. You know what I mean? But the fact that he has the hair and he didn't ball out, I don't like the hair. This is not, you know what I mean? Y'all remember when Herbert cut his hair? Tell me his production didn't drop last year.
He was tired of getting made fun of with that ugly ass haircut that he had.
His hair was phenomenal.
No, it wasn't. Don't lie now. Come on.
It was working.
He looked like he was in high school, because he had the little acne popping and he had the hair.
It looked terrible. It looked terrible, but it worked. And when he cut it off, it stopped working in fantasy. I didn't like it.
It definitely did stop working in fantasy. That's for sure.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, let's change to a different game here. Let's change to the Broncos game here. And Jerry Judy, first piece of news, out 4 to 6 weeks. And who knows? I mean, that's probably the nice timetable. Got that high ankle sprain.
Yeah, being generous. I mean, you know, these young athletes, man. I like Saquon. We've seen him come back within 4 weeks. You know, because normally 4 weeks is what you need, 4 to 6, right? That's why they give that timetable. But, you know, we've seen guys come back after 4 weeks. For someone who's like a slot receiver, you're running these smaller, tighter routes. Maybe they should wait the 6 weeks, because you're high risk for re-aggravation. But Jared Judy, I mean, this shouldn't really hurt you in fantasy unless you reached up to grab him in the 5th round or whatever, because he should have been like a 6th or 7th rounder for you, and you should be able to survive this.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens while he's gone, because that's going to give Teddy an opportunity to build some chemistry with Sutton and Thomas and these other guys to see how does that pecking order work out. Because you saw
MC Hamler.
Oh,
it's Hamler time.
It might be
it's
time.
Hamler time.
It might be because he did catch a touchdown in that game.
I'm overreacting.
I just want to see who ends up taking that target share spot that Judy's vacating. And how does that all break out when he comes back? Because, again, the touchdown went to Patrick and the touchdown went to Hamler.
Huss, how do we feel about our man Javonte? Like, is this like, well, we're gonna have to wait?
Well, I mean,
nervous.
He got more touches than Melvin Gordon did. Melvin Gordon just had that really, really long one that kind of, makes coaches want to keep you in, give you those extra touches. But he had Javonte 14 carries, 45 yards. He had one catch. It was a stupid play though.
It was a negative, yeah.
Negative play. He had 3 more carries than Melvin Gordon. His average though, it's funny because like his average was 3.2 like per carry, and that's like a like Melvin Gordon. Like
I was gonna say that's Melvin Gordon's career average is like 3.2, 3.3.
That
except for this game.
You know what? This could be good because there is. Y'all remember Lamar Miller? Like in Miami, he would flash, and then like he goes to the Texans, and everyone's all on Lamar Miller. He's like, he's gonna get a full workload now, blah blah blah, and he puts up the same exact numbers as he did if he was getting 12 or 13 touches. I think at this point in his career, Melvin Gordon is like better getting these, the fewer touches because he comes in there, savvy veteran. You know what I mean? He gashed him up for a big one at the end of the game when everyone's tired, like he did. So, and they did say, Vic, for what it's worth, Vic Fangio did say Javonte, we're comfortable with him in every situation. You know what I mean? So, they gave him more carries, so maybe he is the guy, but it'll just be Melvin Gordon as what is it called? The ceremonious starter.
Yeah.
The relief.
And I
He's
think
the starter and the relief.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Melvin Gordon, that big run that he got, I think that just really saved his day because already getting more carries than Javonte. And I feel like they were very close in yardage at that point, and then Melvin Gordon goes and cracks off a 60 or 70 yarder. It puts him right at 101 yards. Without that play, Melvin Gordon has a very bad day.
If any of you guys have Melvin Gordon, this is what you guys do. Look at a team that needs running back. And if you need receiver or tight end, whatever they got that you need, package up Melvin Gordon with a lesser tight end or a lesser receiver. Someone's still good, but obviously you want to get the better player back because whoever's running back needy right now, they're gonna look at Melvin Gordon's stat line and be like, all right. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. Hopefully they don't look in deeper and see that like one of his plays was literally his entire stat line.
But I'll be honest with a lot of these,
they're running back needy. So
yeah, like these RB0 targets, some of them shit got real quick. Got real dicey real quick.
Yeah, like what did Chase Edmonds do? I didn't really.
He wasn't terrible. I think he had like almost 100 combined all purpose.
Okay, we'll switch to that game next, real quick, with the pass catchers on the Broncos. Tim Patrick, like right after Jerry Judy went out, Tim Patrick kind of emerged, and we saw him getting a lot of work, last year at different times when people went down.
And the year before.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tim Patrick's going to be that dude who nobody was thinking was going to come in. And he had 4 receptions, 39 yards, but he got that big touchdown. He's known for getting those touchdowns at big times.
What was Hamler's line?
3 for 41.
They were identical.
Pretty much identical, yeah.
Well, they are the guys that rotate with each other whenever
they are going to be Judy. Judy's role split between them.
And I ain't gonna lie, though, Tim Patrick is just somebody who I was never afraid to throw in my lineup when we were missing either a Fant or missing Cortland Sutton last year. Whenever there's one of the starters are down, he fills in nice.
Yeah,
I would rather have Tim Patrick than Russell Gage. I'll tell you that much.
Oh God, Russell Gage.
People who was on Russell Gage. We had so many Russell Gage questions yesterday morning. I was like, listen, bro, don't even.
I didn't start him yesterday, but I was on him.
Thankfully. Yeah, so Tim Patrick and KJ Hamler, they combined for 7 receptions for 80 yards. Jerry Judy, 6 receptions for 72 yards. So they were like damn near identical. They had 1 more reception for 8 yards, compared to Jerry Judy.
So that could have been if Jerry Judy, theoretically, he could have been 12 receptions for like, a $120. You know what I mean? $130.
What up, bro? Yeah, Jerry Judy, he was going to ball. He was going to be the dude. I was off Cortland Sutton to a certain extent just because we didn't know how Teddy B was going to go down the field, and Cortland Sutton's usually the big deep threat. And it didn't look nice yesterday. 1 reception for 14 yards. I think we got to pump the brakes on Sutton heavily.
Yeah.
Especially with fucking injury.
I haven't looked into it fully, but I know his snap count wasn't like nowhere near like 80%. So this could be something like we have to wait a while because he's, they're easing him back in. But maybe opportunity now with Judy gone, like this could force him back in more. You know what I mean?
This really makes Patrick and Hamler like fucking must watch. Maybe not must ads, but you must watch these guys.
I'd still pick them up. I'd still pick them up if you have like extra space, or you have one of these guys that you have a Russell Gage. Please drop Russell Gage.
I don't know if I could drop Russell Gage.
Let someone else pick them up and think they got something.
Russell Gage was so great last year in game 1 and game 2, and then after
people remember it forever.
He had flashes.
Game 1 and 2.
We flirted a little bit. We
look
at
those games.
Things.
He played. Those games was played against Seattle and the Cowboys, and everybody was throwing up like 400, 500 yards through the air.
You also watch some of the catches he makes, and you're just like, honestly, I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
The 12 gauge.
That whole Atlanta offense scares the shit out of me. I'm afraid for all my pitch shares. I know it's an early overreaction, but that's what Monday.
You guys want to know? You guys want to know something that I hate it because hindsight's 2020. We always speculate till we see something. Then we're still kind of speculating. But here's one thing historically about Matt Ryan: first year in a new system, he's dumb.
Oh no!
Y'all remember this?
Yeah,
this is a Matt Ryan.
Every other year, he's kind of sucked. Like if you go back to look at him, one year he would do phenomenal,
but he still throws up 4,000 though. That's the thing though. He still consistently puts up 4,000. Wow. So but
that's only like 200 yards passing, right, Huss?
Yeah. Well, I'll go back and check. My math is a little spotty right now.
200 yards passing is 3,400.
298 for 5,000.
Well, 3 times 17, 300 a game.
Well, no, you got
250.
Got to go 16 though, because that's how much it used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's see.
25. Oh, just 250 times 16. Do that real quick.
Here we go. That's what it is. 250.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
See, I knew it.
So for fantasy, that's whatever stat line. Like he wasn't even finishing as a top 12 QB, but he freaking sucks without Julio. He always has. I don't care about.
No. Julio.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
He did okay for a couple random games against shitty defenses last year. But we're talking about his entire career. That's what I'm basing this off of. If Julio is not there, more often than not, Matt Ryan.
Hold on, Roddy. I remember when he had Roddy White and what's his name? And Gonzalez. Granted, it's a Hall of Famer, but still like Pitts.
Pitts did not play good either. Like Pitts was not making catches. I don't know if it was the play calling because I didn't see every play of that game, but I know Pitts wasn't efficient.
Rowdy White, hold on, let's rewind this real quick. Rowdy White, potential Hall of Famer? No way. I'd say
Hall of really good.
Over 10,000. Over 10,000.
He does have the 10,000. Wow. He does have the 10,000. Wow.
Over 800 receptions. I mean, it's the TDs. I mean, that's what it is. Only 63 TDs. He's definitely a fantasy football Hall of Famer. I would tell you.
I have fun arguing with people. And I tell them Julian Edelman is going to be a Hall of Famer one day. They get mad.
Yeah, we fight about those kind of things because, like, I'd rather see Roddy White.
He's white. He's white.
Oh,
that's the biggest part of my argument.
But Edelman was a key part of Super Bowl runs.
He was a Super Bowl MVP. He was Super Bowl MVP.
Roddy White's never done that.
But here's the thing, though. He's always and forever going to be just tied to Brady's success. So that's why I also say he'll get in. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even have the Pro Bowls like you're supposed to. I don't think so. I don't even know if he even qualifies. So if
Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer, then Santonio Holmes is a Hall of Famer too. It's got to be on Branch.
But he don't got as many. Listen, only Jerry Rice. Since Jerry Rice has been Jerry Rice, has a Super Bowl MVP and multiple Super Bowl rings, right? And then there's Julian Edelman.
we just got lucky. Got lucky that Belichick loves those QB wide receiver-ish guys.
Listen, man, being in the right place at the right time is something in itself,
Okay, let's get to the Patriots game actually. Then we'll get to the Arizona game.
All right, let's change gears. Hop into the Patriots and. Myles Gaskin looked good. Patriots defense looks all right. And Tua and Gesicki, I don't know what the fuck happened. Those are my thoughts on that game.
I thought Tua looked good and then he gets hit, but he recovers, scrambles, throws a big ass pick. You know what I mean? He throws a hot potato pick. Like, it was like, what are you doing? I understand he's probably trying to throw it away, but like, yo, you got to throw that shit in the stands. You know what I mean? He threw it right. He threw it over a crowd of defenders.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie though. I was a little disappointed in that Miami running game because I'm sitting back, expecting a lot out of Gaskins, and like, yeah, he got his catches in, which make his value pretty safe, but rushing the ball wise, I was very nervous. I didn't see anything there to make me say, or I have confidence, I should say.
Remember what we said on Friday? We said we're gonna be trading for Aaron Jones, Myles Gaskin, and Saquon Barkley. Same way all these motherfuckers is trying to trade away or trade for Zeke. Remember that? We said that. And look at all these guys.
New England's defense,
go out and get them.
New England's defense is legit, especially against the run. And I did say his production on the ground would be almost doubled by through the air, and he had 5 receptions, only 9 carries. I think just like in the Dallas Bucks game where the plan was to not run. Yeah. I think that was kind of the same thing here because they had a lot of short little designed, passes that were pretty much runs. I mean, Waddle got in there a lot on that. And then Gaskin, same thing. I mean, Gaskin gets his 5 to 7 receptions every single game. He's going to be money in the bank.
Yeah, because of where you drafted him too, y'all. Y'all drafted him and got him. You got him somewhere in the mid rounds.
I seen somebody jump as high as 3rd round for him.
I've
that
seen that too.
Crazy.
I've seen that too.
Deeper 14 teams. I've seen it. There are deeper leagues, 14 team. A dude jumped up in the 3rd. I still wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? But for what it's worth, I mean, maybe he's buying the ceiling. I mean, I like to have room, right? You got to have room where it's like, okay, this guy paid his value.
Yep. I mean, if he would have been more of a bulldozer type with that pass catching, he'd be, Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
for sure. That is for sure.
How about Mac Jones? What y'all think?
I mean, he looked all right. He definitely looked all right. The thing that is crazy, I mean, they did feed the beast. They fed Damian Harris. I was surprised. Mac Jones getting 39 attempts though, like in his very first game, 281 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. I liked it. I think they're going to be throwing it a lot.
Yep. I also think Harris is going to start to lose a little bit of that workload because that fumble. They don't like fumbles in New England.
No, they don't like those fumbles.
Listen, Ramondre Stevenson fumbled it with his first carry too.
But then they got Taylor. They got so many running backs. Yeah. Guess what? We got another one.
Well, hold on. Ramondre Stevenson had 1 carry for 2 yards on the game. So that's what happens when you fumble. You're probably going to be in the doghouse the rest of the game.
Who else fumbled that did not see any more action in the game? I forgot. Oh, Rojo.
That
guy.
And so especially
I dropped him already.
When you're in any kind of committee, you better not drop the ball. Like that is the biggest sin that you can do.
Remember the NWO? That's how they would jump somebody. They'll be like, "You dropped the ball," and then they'd jump his ass.
Yo, for real.
For life.
Yeah. All right, James White, got to talk about him because he didn't get much work on the ground, only 4 carries for 14 yards. But how about those 6 receptions for 49 yards? And he was on the field a lot because they were the 1 o'clock game. They don't have the snap percentages yet. Yeah. But he was on the field a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it was him and Damian Harris. When you look at their snap shares, it's probably going to be close to each other because when they were using Damian Harris is when the game was in hand. When the game started getting out of their hands, they went to James White. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
They started throwing like crazy. And let's not forget, Dolphins got a fucking legit defense. I think they had the most takeaways, I believe, last year.
They had one yesterday, so their streak continues.
Like 24 games?
The streak goes all the way back to 2019. Yeah. Every game has at least 1 takeaway. So it's been going on since like October 2019 or some shit like that.
I think they're at like 24 total games, if I remember correctly. It's something in the 20s, I know. As amount of games that they've gotten at least 1 turnover, which is pretty insane. So
this probably goes back to like November 2019, somewhere around then. Because I remember there was an 8-week stretch just last year alone
Nuts.
Yeah. And like Xavier Howard had one every week, and then he had two in a couple weeks. Like it was crazy.
And didn't he ice the game? Wasn't it like a forced fumble that Xavier Howard did at the end of the game yesterday?
On Harris. That's why they're saying that Harris could have his role scale. They already started talking about it. His role could be scaled back starting like next week.
I'm trading for Harris.
James White to the moon. James White to the moon.
Yep. Because I'm reading the Yahoo thing. It says ESPN's Mike Reese said the Patriots could reduce Damian Harris's role after he lost the fumble late in the loss.
Yeah.
And the suggestion is that Taylor
might kill him.
Yeah, they might start having Taylor.
Remember Jarvis Gray? Jarvis Gray ran in 4 touchdowns in a game, and then he shows up late to practice talking on the phone, and he goes, "Hey, get off the phone. Come here. Get the fuck out of here." And he was gone. That was it.
About Ben Jarvis Green Ellis?
Jarvis Gray, running back for the New England Patriots 2014. It was against the Colts. He has 4 rushing touchdowns against them. It's a regular season game. And like it was crazy because he was like a spot start like type of motherfucker, you know what I mean? And he just went off, and then that was it because he showed up to practice late. Like I'm just saying, Belichick would just exile somebody.
He does not.
I'm telling you,
he was ready to get rid of Tom Brady, you know, for the way that he does things. Like nobody is safe in New England.
Probably not even his own kids.
Probably not.
His son don't even coach for him. His son, I think his son's with the Browns. Or his son's with his son's with the Ravens. His son is like an assistant to John Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying?
He used to be with the Pats.
And I heard, you know what's crazy with Belichick? I think his wife left him long ass time ago. Then he has a girlfriend, and he has like a 2-year-old right now. Or he's like a 2 or 3-year-old. I mean, someone might want to fact check me, but I just remember like I was like, oh shit, Belichick had a baby. Out of nowhere. It just
Belichick's bank's still working, huh? You know what I mean? Like, goddamn.
he talks to the bitch like this. He's like, "Oh, you want it from the back?
Yeah.
Get it from the back."
Yeah. What do you mean? He got the draw plate up at the doctor's office? Like, all right, you're gonna take from the specimens in the back, and you're just gonna inject.
Do your job. Get the placenta out.
Yeah.
And you know where Bill Belichick met her. Because he talked about how he acts like he doesn't know about social media. He was like, "Yeah, you know that like Snapgram and my face, like like that."
Instachat.
I don't know about that. So
that was way too witty for it to be on the spot. Like he's that good. He had that drawn up. He had that out in the holster.
Oh man. Before we get off of this game real quick, what do we think about the wide receivers? So Jacoby Myers, he dropped a couple. He did have the most targets on the team for sure. It was him, and then James White and Nelson Aguilar were
great coverage on him. Great coverage on Myers though too.
I think Aguilar is going to be someone who needs to be rostered the way they got him involved.
I mean, in savvier leagues, he's probably rostered already, but I mean, for sure, like in shallower leagues, he's probably like, maybe even in Elijah Moore, there's gonna be too many growing pains. I'd rather just go get a veteran guy like Aguilar, who's probably a better WR3 on any given week. You know what I mean?
Oof.
And what do you think about their wide receivers in general, right? Or just the pass game in general? Who do we think are going to be the guys involved over the next few weeks?
In New England, I kind of just don't want anything to do with it. I still like Jacoby Myers. My baloney has a first name over everybody. Because I'd rather have the volume. Like everything's going to be short for the kid. They're going to run a lot.
How well did Jonnu do? Because I saw Jonnu making a couple of plays.
So did Henry. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're just going to see if Jonnu gets more love in the red zone. I just feel like it just didn't play out that way yesterday. Mm-hmm. But he had 5 receptions for 42 yards. I mean, you mix in a touchdown there, he's top 12. And Hunter Henry got less volume, 3 receptions, 31 yards.
Damn, I think you might be right about this James White wave. This dude really might be one of the top receivers on the team who's like super consistent. And because he's going to be like an RB2 for you in more cases than not.
How many pass attempts did Mac Jones have?
39.
30.
I don't think he has 39 every week.
No, I think they're probably not going to be playing from behind like they were like the entire game either.
Yeah, but does Damian Harris have 23 carries?
Crazy. And 39 pass attempts. That's crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah, and they rushed for 30 times too. So like they had a lot of possessions.
Yeah, okay. I do want to note that was awesome because with the Cam Newton led Patriots offense last year was bottom 3 in pace of play. Mm-hmm. I can't wait till the numbers come out, or I mean they might be out already, but I want to go see it because they did run a ton of plays.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's good for fantasy because then maybe we could like all these guys. We could like James White and Jacoby Myers. My baloney has the first name, and Jonnu Smith, the only man in the world named Jonnu. It's just like and his cousins Taysom.
Yep,
and your other cousins Laramie.
but also this, they only scored 16 points and they had all these possessions. You figure they're going to be more efficient too, so we can start seeing more touchdowns coming up. And the Dolphins are a good defense on top of all of that. And it's a division rivalry from a guy that used to be in the coaching tree. It's just so set up for like
it's a lot of
failure.
Yeah. Here's what I think the Patriots, who used to be like, to beat that team, you were somebody in the NFL. I feel like right now, no Stephon Gilmore. I feel like teams are really just going to put the pedal to the metal and really try to stick it to New England.
Well, how about this? I also want to remind everybody that once we get into October-ish and shit like that, bro, that's when you start seeing Belichick's defense be good. You know what I mean? Like, and they stay getting better. You know what I mean? Like they are gonna get Stephon Gilmore back eventually, if not trade him and they get something for him. Like,
how about this though? In that game, the Patriots had more yardage than the Dolphins, 393 yards versus 259. They outpassed them by almost 100 yards, 268 to 185. They outrushed them 125 to 74. They had 5.6 yards per play versus 5 yards per play. They had the ball for 36 minutes versus only 23 minutes. They only lost because of the fumble.
Yeah, that's what they're going to kill him. Damian Harris is going to come up missing, or he's going to pop up
for real.
He's going to pop up on the
Belichick is pissed after that.
I can't imagine what that locker room's like.
Belichick,
you motherfucker.
Belichick looks at the dog. The dog's like, the dog literally talks to him and says, "You know what you got to do." He says words and everything, bro. The dog.
Everybody wants to play in the NFL till they play for Bill.
And you look at like every single stat from the game, team stats anyways, it is all on the Patriots side of things as far as the good stats, but also the bad stats too, because we had one turnover from the Dolphins, but you had 2 turnovers from the Patriots. And that one extra turnover literally made the difference in the game.
And think about it. The Dolphins punted 4 times. The Patriots only punted twice. And the Dolphins won 17 to fucking 16.
Hey, Mac Jones is going to be good, bro.
Ryan Flores for coach of the year already.
Hey, man. Listen, man. That motherfucker B-Flow, he's the truth, bro.
And the Bills didn't look that great. This division might be more open than we thought.
I think people just took the Steelers for granted a little bit. I still think it's going to be the Bills, but I think the Dolphins are going to get into the wild card this year. They've been on the fringe the last couple years. I think they get into the wild card.
As long as they don't get no injuries, no crazy injuries, bro, they're going to be good. You know what I mean?
I think the Dolphins and the Patriots might have the best 2 defenses in that division, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we shout. I mean, the Bills looked like shit yesterday. Their defense sucked. Because the Steelers, I mean, their offense was pretty trash, and they still handled the Bills. But I think everyone's just sleeping on the Steelers' defense. Like, man, their defense is so fucking good.
I think it's weak.
Are you ready for that game? Because I have some questions about that game.
Let's hop to that one next. Let's get into that one.
What is up with your boy Najee? Because Najee had the first round fire, and he had 2 pass catches. Najee needed to be getting 4 to 5 catches to justify that role.
Steelers were so ass yesterday, though.
Yeah, they won though.
Their defense, it was all on the defense.
I will say that that Josh Allen and him, he looked like 2018 Allen again. I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, there were so many times he could have checked it down. He was doing smart shit like that last year that he was just going for it. And I'm like, what are you doing? There's still a game. You know what I mean? Like, when you can't extend drives, you can't get in no rhythm. So he's
that defense was smacking him in the face often. I think Josh Allen was seeing ghosts out there because he was literally, Cam Hayward was in there every single play. TJ Watt, TJ Watt, I don't know if you saw the play where he swatted it out of Josh Allen's hands while he was running and then wrapped up his arm, put it right behind him so he literally couldn't get the fumble, and Allen fell flat on his face with TJ Watt driving him into the ground.
It's so crazy because when you watch that in slow motion, it's like a movie shit. It's like movie like stuntman shit, like like some straight bruh.
It's the Watt
he put
family
his
legacy.
arm behind his back, bruh. And
Like all in one motion, he slapped the ball, and at the exact same time with his arm motion, like pretty much put him in handcuffs so he couldn't touch the fumble. Like that's why TJ Watt makes the big bucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that was a Watt move right there.
Oh yeah.
But check this out. So for the Steelers, they had Najee who had 16 carries for 45 yards, 2.8 yards per carry. And then reception-wise, Deontay Johnson had 5 receptions for 36 yards. Juju had 4 for 52. Claypool had 3 for 45. Nobody else had more than 2 other than James Washington.
How many yards per carry, yards before contact do you have that for Najee?
I don't have that up
because I haven't looked in the numbers yet on the line. I guarantee that line is just really bad. They're probably going to be like in the bottom 20s run blocking.
Well, here's what we got to remember about the Bills. They got Tre'Davious White, who came down with a little did he get maybe he didn't yesterday. Maybe it didn't happen, but he takes away half the field.
Yeah.
The thing that doesn't leave me a cause for concern for the Steelers offense. Ben threw it 32 times. They're on the road. That's like classic Steelers. We may have to sit all the Steelers when they're on the road. Only 188 yards. It was spread very evenly between Juju, Chase, and Deontay. So, he gets up to the 300 yards and gets, those 40, 45 passes. I think all 3 guys are going to be like usable on a regular basis. But I think Steelers are going to be like, when they go on the road, you fucking sit them.
Yeah, I think this is going to get interesting just to see because, they didn't make any turnovers or any real mistakes, which is, really big and really key for Tomlin. They might play more conservatively this year compared to last season where they were kind of like gunslinging and shooting it out. But again, it is a good Bills defense, so we have to see what
is it a piece. Is the Steelers offense a piece of shit?
It's very close. It is very
close.
Because
no matter how much you shine it, still a piece of shit.
You can't
but what's crazy?
Can't shine doo-doo, baby. Can't shine doo-doo.
Think about that. It may be that, yet they're still pulling out these W's. And then you look at the Bills side, who, they moved the ball a little bit better. Josh Allen had 51 throwing attempts. You can't really ask for more, even though he had 270 yards and 1 touchdown. But
that's why he looked like 2018, 2019 Josh Allen, because he never would eclipse 300. Mm-hmm. Last year, he starts off the first 5 games going over 300. He had never went over 300 once in his career until week 1 last year, and he ripped off like 5 straight.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how you know he's going back to 2019, Josh Allen. His completion percentage on the game, 59%. He was at 69 last year. He got to that 69. If he cannot complete over 66% of passes, Bills aren't going to do that good. He needs to be the Josh Allen of last year, or they will not prevail.
What is Diggs' stat line?
I got some quick breaking news from Ian Rappaport. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan announced that running back Raheem Mostert has chipped cartilage in his knee and is headed to the IR. He should be out about 8 weeks. Elijah Mitchell is officially waiver wire number 1 pickup on your leagues. I just got him last night in the league, but definitely Eli Mitchell.
Yeah.
But damn.
And now this opens it up. So Trey Sermon was a healthy scratch. Obviously he's more than likely going to play. Did they make him a healthy scratch because Eli Mitchell was that dude, or are they just trying to?
Nah, check this out. It's a little bit of everything. So, first of all, it's also they're putting some bubble wrap on him because they're like, okay, we can handle this, right? But also they love the Raging Cajun out of Lafayette. Remember when we had Spencer on?
Yep.
And he was, I brought up Elijah Mitchell, and he's like, oh, I love him.
Eli Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell.
No, it's Eli Mitchell. It's Elijah Moore. Eli Mitchell.
Oh my God, I'm high. Eli Mitchell, right? My man, Eli, right? This dude, they love him, brother. It doesn't matter what draft capital with Shanahan. Like, look at Breida.
Where did he get drafted?
Sixth round. But Mostert, Breida, guys like that, there, Breida was like a fourth rounder or something like that. Mostert, him and Wilson came up from special teams, undrafted free agent guys. Like, if you put in work, you put in work. But so now here's the big one though, is that I heard they don't like Trey Sermon because he's learning hella slow. You know what I mean? So he wasn't even in the game plan. That could be more so why he's a healthy scratch. Also, if they get him, when they do get him acclimated, he's a different body type. When the weather gets cold, I feel like he's gonna be the guy, bro. But for Shanahan, you got it. Closer to skill set, what Mostert does, it would be Mitchell. You know what I mean?
I heard this because I was watching ESPN on Sunday before the game, and they were actually talking about Trey Sermon being a healthy scratch, and Eli Mitchell was ahead of him, and they were seeing how much in camp, like Scheffler was saying, that he was really liking him, that there's a lot of hype around this kid, that he's looking like a favorite of the staff. So I don't think this is an admiration. I think we could be looking at the guy that's going to take over.
I got him in a lot of places.
I got him in a few places. I wish I got hip in more and just dropped everybody.
Well, I know where I'm going to be spending my fab dollars for a couple of places.
Him and my man Taylor Henneke.
Yeah,
in super flex leagues. Yeah, he's a priority for real.
There's one league that I play in where we're hardcore about it. It's my San Diego.
All day.
Anytime. When Fitzpatrick went down, I just swooped him up just in case. He looks bad, but in the super flex league, you need those QBs.
Yeah, because somebody's finna trade for him. Whoever has Fitzmagic, they'll be like, let's not get.
Oh, you heard about Fitzmagic too? He was hurt too.
Let's get to that game.
Hold on. Where's Fitzmagic? Because I just saw Tyler Heineke is going to be the starter for the game versus the Giants.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick went on IR, and when senior citizens break hips, you know that nothing good is coming from it. So I don't know if we've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick's last game. That would be pretty sad if we have.
He'll come back with a bionic leg.
I hope so.
A magic leg.
What else did you see over there, Taco? My son stole my phone.
Oh no! I saw we were talking about Fitzpatrick, and then we were talking about Mostert, who just hit that IR. That's a crazy one right there, man. That just changes a lot of shit.
Scary Terry. I mean, who knows? He didn't look too. I mean, it wasn't him that didn't look that good. I mean, Chargers. I don't know what's up with their defense. I guess when fully healthy, they have a legit defense. I guess.
Well, but also Staley going over there. I mean, it's just a guy who knows what to do with this personnel. You know what I mean? I feel like Gus Bradley for years, everyone was aware of his cover 3 scheme. You're not fooling nobody. You know what I mean? And then people come through and they'll gas you up with the pass catching running backs and shit. You know what I mean? It was just like their cover 3 was getting ate up. You know what I mean? So he's implicating what he did with the Rams, bro. So you know what I mean? You got Joey Bosa just constantly pressuring. Like this shit was many. I ain't gonna lie. I liked their defense too, man. As like a streaming option. I mean, because the Magic Man, he's just a slinging motherfucker. He'll throw a pick or two, or get hurt.
And it's really going to be interesting because it's a quick turnaround. So they're playing, I think, Thursday night versus the Giants. So it's not even like the. So Heineke is going to go out there. How much of the playbook do they have set up for him already? What kind of are they going to be really limited?
He's been around. So Heineke, you got to remember, he
started the playoff game.
Him and Will Grier were drafted to Carolina to this regime. You know what I mean? And then this regime's in Washington, so they bring their mans over there.
So
you know
he should be good. So he should be full gold. Then we shouldn't see any. So could this possibly be good for Terry? Because
just concentrate on your best 2 guys, Terry and I would argue Logan Thomas, and then just run the ball. And this for all of us that love some Antonio Banderas and all of us that love JD McKissick. This is great for them because he's smart.
Amazing.
He's gonna check the ball down too. You know what I mean? Like he's really smart. Like, so I like this actually for fantasy purposes. And what have we been used to getting for Terry McLaurin? It sucks that we drafted him in the 3rd round, but what we're used to getting from him is like 7 to 8 targets a game. You know what I mean? He used to go 7 for 7. Like that was like his stat line basically last year. He would get like 8 or 9 targets. He'd go 7 for like 70.
I think his wide receiver 1 feelings might drop a little bit, but he's a bona fide wide receiver too. I think he'll be top 20. I just don't feel as confident saying he's going to be top 10 because I thought him and Fitzmagic were going to be special, but now it's just tragic.
Because it was going to be the pepper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I forgot to bring up this one thing about the Falcons game. Cornell Patterson actually had a much bigger role than I thought because we're on this whole running back topic.
Quarter rail.
He had 24 snaps. He had 7 rushes for 54 yards, 2 catches for 13 yards, and he did a little bit of punt returning. But I think that's going to be an interesting guy going forward because they seem to give him a role or going to give him a role, I should say.
So if you remember,
it's pronounced quarter rail.
If you remember last Friday, it was weird that a piece of news was that the coach wouldn't mention who was going to be the backup running back. He was like being very coy about it, and it made no sense to me. Like
this was a topic on this show.
Yeah, and that is exactly why, because Patterson is the backup running back there, and he does a lot more than just be the backup.
Yep.
If that is his real name.
All right, a couple pieces. Let's get into some of the injury news, and we'll just break down some of the games as we go on. So from the Thursday night game, you got Sean Murphy Bunting going out. I think he's going to miss a couple weeks. So that's their top 2 corner. We'll see what that does for them. I mean, either way, when you got guys on the line like them, cornerbacks don't mean as much as if they didn't have a line.
Facts.
Michael Gallup, though, officially out 3 to 4 weeks with that calf injury. How do we think that this affects their offense?
CeeDee Lamb to the moon.
Listen, this is why I love Zeke, because he was going to have a trio of receivers that defenders have to game for. Now they could really stack the box and just test Dak. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know if you want to test Dak.
Listen,
Dak looked ready.
They were doing that. Now
he was doing it.
All you got to do is pressure him.
He can't run. We already know he can't run.
Yeah. So this is what people are going to do. I feel, it's a copycat league. They are playing the Chargers this week, which I expect to be a shootout, but it's also could be a bloodbath for the Cowboys front again. And like I expect Zeke to get a good workload on the ground in this game. But damn, he might be. It's not.
Is Zeke RB1 this week? Is Zeke RB1 this week?
I'm saying it. Yeah.
Joey Bosa ain't gonna put some pepper sauce on that.
Not on him. Joey Bosa might kill Dak though.
Yeah, that's and if he was gonna put sauce on Zeke, it'd be probably because Zeke is there to pass pro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm saying Zeke's gonna get 15 carries and get like a few targets. That, you know what I mean? That's how I'm looking at it.
I don't know. I want to see how Pollard gets used. I think Pollard might be one of the bigger beneficiaries of Gallup going down because I think they're going to manufacture touches for him. I think Jerry Jones saw enough of him last season.
But the manufacturing stuff, that's not good for fantasy because you're talking about like end arounds and like.
Well, not only that, I think they'll set him up with certain screens, certain slant. Like they're going to design a certain amount of plays where they want to get Pollard the ball in open space. I can
dig it. I'm just saying that's like OBJ then to me now at this point. You know what I mean? Just like someone who's like a flex, maybe. You know what I mean?
Well, with the running backs, he might be RB2.
Sure. You ain't lying. I'll give you that one.
Switching to the Chiefs game. So Tyron Matthew, he's going to be back this week. He's going to clear concussion, COVID protocol. I mean, unless he has a negative test or something, but I believe he's been testing negative. It's just the amount of time, that 10 days or whatever. I mean, they were getting gashed up by Baker, at least in the first half. Then that kind of switched. But, I mean, Chiefs, we already know their offense is legit, though. Their defense is a little shaky.
I kept saying
everything
it's
you
September.
Want.
I just kept yelling it at the TV. It's September. And I swear he heard me. He was like, "You're right." And he came back.
Bro, it was so beautiful because I have Hill and Kelsey on a fantasy team. So I'm like, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Let's go. Tyreek Hill. Yo, Tyreek Hill, bro. Holy shit.
Taco, I called you out on my studs and duds videos. Tyreek Hill over the 100 and 1 touchdown. You're just saying everyone's gonna get over 100 yards and a touchdown. But the 2 big ones that I called were Tyreek 100 yards and a touch, which that's not that bold.
Robbie Anderson.
I did call the Tyler Lockett 100 and a touch, and he ended up getting 2 touchdowns.
Hey man, I was loving that because I have Russ in a lot of leagues, and I just drafted Lockett for somebody.
But this is exactly why people need to fuck with you, bro. Because like this is why I fuck with you, is because this is how you read it in. Just a prediction with Tyler Lockett. We know their number 2 corner Xavier Rhodes, who is pretty good at this point, though. He's the number 2 guy. He was gonna be out. You know what I mean? It was like, bump. They know this. You know what I mean? It's not like we're some smart ass motherfuckers, right? Listen, they know that, but we are smart. So especially when you're like, listen, he's going over 100 easy and a tug, and he gets 2. Bang.
And that's why shows like this are important, because he's going over all the injury reports. He's talking about the cornerbacks that are out for the Bucks and all these other teams. Because guess what? That's what you need to be looking at when you're looking at fantasy football, because it could be a shit matchup, but then you're seeing, that second cornerback is out. Maybe this wide receiver might have a shot, even though he normally wouldn't.
Watch once we get like 4 weeks in and we have 4 weeks of data. Like, we're gonna be able to find nickel corners to pick on. And we're gonna be able to find.
We didn't even have real preseason, because it's like a lot of these offenses for the first time we're actually seeing what they're gonna do and what they're gonna run and how they're gonna perform. Everyone's so secretive now. Everyone wants to be the Patriots.
It's because Belichick, he already knows. Yeah. Everybody knows that everybody is looking at everything and they're going to use it against you.
How about that 49ers defense, though? Hold on 1 second, though. That 49 defense scared me a little bit. Like, how the Lions scoring 33?
Jason Verrett out.
Yeah, he went down
for the season. That's going to be big time. I think he was he the number 2 or was he the number 1?
He's basically our number 1, if you ask me.
He's good. I mean? He cannot stay healthy. Even going back to when he was on the Chargers,
with the Chargers,
he stays hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets big time injuries, bro. That's why he was crying. He was crying his eyes out, man. Feel bad for the guy because he finally was looking good. You know what I mean? Like back even last year, he was back like looking good. Like they made him go the long route. He had to get all the way right. You know what I mean? Like they even when he was getting on the field, he wasn't like a full complement of snaps. They were just and then he started to show up more and more. And then they say he was having a great camp. And he's probably going to start, and then boom, they extend him. You know what I mean? But at least he got some bread.
Yeah,
I say that much because I like Jason Verrett, man. He was a dog going all the way back to the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, back to San Diego, and he was good. He was good back then. Just health was always his issue.
He would have been in a conversation of like Sherman and all them.
Oh, for sure.
Like because he was that generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine though that was the highest scoring game of the weekend?
I did not think that was going to be anywhere close to the highest scoring game of the weekend.
Yeah,
right. I was shocked.
Listen, I had teased it up 20 points, and I was like, boom, and I had my Niners to cover that.
What was the over-under? Do you remember what the over-under was?
It was 41.
Shit, the Niners got 41 by themselves.
That's what I'm saying. So I said it was going to go over. And I teased the Niners to beat them by more than 20. And then when they were coming back, I was like, what in the fuck is going? And even so my girl, so I have my TV and then I'm watching Red Zone and we weren't in the red zone. So I run up to the stairwell and then it's, you know what I'm saying? My girl's watching the game, just that game, right? So I'm watching, I'm like, okay, 1 minute left. Okay. And I told my girl, we get the first down and boom, game over. And then Debo, gets the first down, and then he fumbles. And then they score. then it's like this. I told my girl, they're gonna let them score. They're gonna let them score right now, so we get the ball back. Because look how much time's on the clock. But they're gonna try the onside kick. This is gonna happen. Boom, they score. We let them.
Boom, right off Jamal wins. Face
boom.
On that
then the fucking onside kick, and Kittle fucks out. No, and I'm like, and then I start looking at it. Oh, okay, no, it's cool. I said they can even score here again, and then they still got to score again and get the 2 point.
2 point.
And I'm like, oh, we got this. There's not enough time for this. And then you know what I mean? But that's really what happened.
Garbage time Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back, baby.
Yo,
he's where he belongs, right?
The target share, though, he had 20 targets for the running backs, 10 targets for Hawkinson. That's 30 targets between running backs and tight ends.
Yep.
That's giving me money
sounds
there.
Sounds like Anthony Lynn.
I know. It sounds like Alex Smith.
No, it sounds like motherfucking Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. They don't have anybody though. Tyrell Williams, he's in concussion protocol. He went out.
Oh, the Gazelle.
They like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I feel like he's like the only guy they got over there now, wide receiver.
Yep,
I like him. He's a pick.
I think this puts Jamal Williams though to the moon, at least as an RB2, RB3.
If he's gonna get 10 targets a game, like whoo!
Hey, listen,
and he was getting he started. He was the starter, right?
Yeah. No, he was.
And he got goal line.
He was like a ceremonial starter. But you got to remember, once the game it was all Swift, then the game gets out of hand, and then Williams like tremendously gets a lot of work. He did like Green Bay Packers things for real. Remember the Green Bay?
I love when they had the 2 running back sets. I was sitting there drooling, like, give me money on this. Like Jamal Williams, I had like everywhere. He was the guy that everyone was like, I don't want him. The Lions suck, and they got Swift. And I'm like, well, I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. And I went mad.
I'm mad I don't have enough Swift now, though. I only have 1 share of him, and I was sour I had it. He was going in the 5th round in Superflex. Like, why didn't I just have enough of them? Because I'd let someone else get on. Like, stupid. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be in a draft, like, stupid. And I've never queue him up either. He always just be there, like, nah, I'll let somebody else get him.
It is week 1. It was garbage time, and Swift is not someone who stays healthy, at least from what we've seen. So
stop cursing my 1 share.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I just have 1. Can I have 1?
I got like 4 shares of Jamal Williams, so that's good for me.
Yeah. So Tyron Williams, concussion protocol. We got to monitor that. Brandon Ayuk with the hamstring, though, ended up finishing with a goose egg. And definitely you got to monitor those hamstring injuries. What you say,
yeah,
bro?
And here's the thing, too, man, is like I told people not even to play him like at all. Just don't even fool with that, because
we didn't think the volume was going to be there.
Wasn't going to be there. Yeah, let alone he has the hamstring too. And it was last week he got a hamstring. You're not telling me you got a hamstring and then you coming in this week and playing full snaps even on a low pass volume team. How many passes did Jimmy G have? I know. My man Trey Area had 1. He went 1 for a tug.
Oh, I got 2 pieces of breaking news while you look up that. The Ravens
25.
The Ravens moved up Anthony Levine Sr. and Justin Ellis from the practice squad. So there's no Le'Veon Bell and there's no Devonta Freeman tonight. So Tyson Williams in DFS is straight give me money. He's gonna have so much volume.
Yes, and then Mike Tyson Williams. He's going back to Las Vegas where it all started.
And then Raiders Josh Jacobs, who was downgraded this weekend and went through team walkthroughs, is feeling better and puts him on track to play tonight. So we should be seeing Josh Jacobs tonight.
I hate him.
What was his illness?
He was just sick. I don't even know. He probably ate some bad shit.
Yacked a couple times.
Listen, I'm not hating on him at all, right? I think he was actually good when he gets volume. My whole thing with Josh Jacobs is the line lost 3 starters, and you added Kenyon Drake, who they paid. So I'm just off Josh Jacobs, right? But and then you know what people always say? Oh, you're tripping, bro. He finished fucking 8th overall, blah blah blah. Whatever. Yeah, I understand that. He had all the volume. So I just made the case. Then you know what they always say? Bro, he used to live in his car, and bro, his story. I know his story's tight. Has 0 to do with what I'm saying. But why do always people go to that story?
And they just signed Drake in the offseason to a big contract while he's on the team.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you want to go back like to his first game last year, he had like almost 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was like probably more than 25% of his like total touchdowns for sure, and a big chunk of his yardage on the season.
Mm-hmm. Check this out too. I like to believe, you could judge a man on his decision making by like his haircut, and like, so clearly Chucky's a dumbass because he rocks a bowl cut consciously. You know what I mean? But he actually made a smart decision by bringing in Drake, because if he looked at when Josh Jacobs was dope, he was sharing with Damian Harris. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really give this guy an incredible workload without.
I was gonna say, and he's not a good pass catcher, because last season his catching went down, and Drake is a better catcher. So I think that this puts him in a situation where he's gonna be volatile, especially in PPR.
And my man Jalen the Rocket Richard, bruh. Jalen Richard, he used to pile up a bunch of reception. Yeah, he used to pile up a gang of receptions, bro. Like now they have that type of game with Dreezy.
And here's
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's coming back to Vegas.
I got a
pay-per-view.
I got to DFS it tonight, bro. I got to get him in there. I need him like Drake and him.
I need him to get me 10 total points in a PPR for the win. Let's go. I need you on a Monday. I need a Monday night.
I need him to do good and not too good, because I have a slight lead, and I'm facing him, and I have enough where he could have a good game, but not a great game.
Not about what you want. All right?
Man, listen, it's what I need.
It's about what we all need.
I need the win.
Now, here's another reason I don't like Josh Jacobs, and here's the reason why a lot of fantasy managers and players won't like him. Last year, when he was like, don't bench me or something like that, or said I'm playing, and then he didn't play, and then he was pretty much like, fuck you, fantasy managers or whatever. Like, that's another reason I don't like him. I just don't want to cheer for him.
No, he's not like Austin Eckler.
Yep. All right, let's see. What's another, some other injuries?
No Sharon Stone.
Oh, the Jets just lost their offensive tackle, Mekhi Becton, in that game. I think that's going to be interesting. And then you had James
torn. Is it partially torn? MCL?
I think I saw he was supposed to be out like 4 to 5 weeks on a conservative estimate, they said.
Yeah.
So he might be back this year. But I think that Jets offense looked a lot worse than we thought. I think Zach Wilson.
What are you talking about?
The run game. Let's talk about the run game. The run game looked horrible.
I remember I said Zach Wilson's going to be their run game. He got 60 yards on the ground. What did he do?
You're right.
Like, did he go over 200 passing and he had 2 tugs? Remember I was saying if he goes at this pace, and I'm not even asking for 60 yards a game rushing, give me 45. He's going to go over 700 on the ground and 200 yards a game on average. He's going to go over 30. He's going to go 3,400 yards. Like, this is baby Lamar numbers. I like it.
Hey, you'll like this, Bogey. Nessa got your Scream reference there. She's no Sharon Stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice one. I like that.
Okay, so for the Jets, 4 of their defensive free agents they added are hurt, including their left tackle. So if you're going to pick on a team where you need to get, let's just say, pick up a defense, you want to pick up a defense versus the Jets. And if you have offensive players, you want to play them versus the Jets. You're just going to let you rock.
Corey Davis. Yeah. Oh, man. Corey Davis. He was a must start for me in this game. And, did he deliver?
Yes.
That was nice.
He had me scared for a little bit because going into that second quarter, he still hadn't done shit. I was getting pissed off. I was like, you mother, I needed you. And then all of a sudden he showed up. And I'm like, all right, we're cool.
And this is what we should expect. The Jets are going to get beat up, and then it's going to be all garbage time. And did you look at it? It's like, oh, shit, it's only the third quarter. We got a whole half of this. And that's exactly what happened.
In fantasy football, garbage time is a place where miracles happen.
Garbage time is king. This is where
it's
garbage time
the
is
first
king.
3 quarters. Give me garbage time.
You know what? Back the truck up. Back the garbage. Back up the truck.
Like,
yeah, we love the basura in fantasy. Basura time.
Facts. I think the Lions are going to make great work of that all year long.
So
I can agree.
Here's what I think that the Jets are going to be this year. I think they're going to be very 2012 Broncos-esque when they had Tim Tebow there. When the defense really, they weren't the best back then. They were still growing. They were still young. But it was always garbage time. It was like fourth quarter. Like, don't watch the first 3 quarters, like, at all. Do not watch it. But if you want to be entertained, you watch that fourth quarter and you get ready for them to blow up. I think that's going to be the Jets in a lot of games.
And I think that's going to be Carolina, too, in a lot of games, bro.
I hope so.
And the Lions. The Lions. Garbage golf is going to be a thing.
But here's the thing. There's a lot of golf. There's a lot more pieces though for Sammy D over there. You know what I mean? Like we all have a ton of Robbie Anderson and DJ Moores and obviously CMC's. Like that we need them to have a lot of a really bad defense so everyone can just keep eating. You know what I mean? Every week.
CMC had like 100 yards receiving and like almost 100 yards rushing. He was back at it. I was very impressed.
One thing that I thought was going to happen with CMC is I thought he was going to give up 5% of work, 10% of work. There was even one time
I thought he would.
Maybe he'll give up 20% of the work. Nope. 99% of the work, if not 100%. I don't even think he left the field.
And then my favorite part was Sam Darnold targeted him as the number 1 wide receiver.
Yep.
Like, if he's going to be the number 1 running back and the number 1 wide receiver for this team, the talks about CMC's Uber Prime being gone is not going to be much longer. I was a little worried about him, like you said. I thought we might have seen some more usage of these other guys trying to save him. They were talking about, you want to save him for the 4th. Nope.
Yep. The only time I feel like maybe CMC won't get used or, maybe he'll get a lighter load is if the Panthers are blowing out a team.
Yep.
I don't see that happening like ever.
Nope.
Never. Their defense is so bad.
Yep. Although
For
they made
IDP
some nice plays, but like, yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, not saying they don't have a couple nice pieces. Jeremy Chin, we didn't see too much of him, but Shaq Thompson, IDP darling. So he's someone, he was trashed last year especially where he's being projected, and he balled out yesterday. So anyone who plays in IDP league, if Shaq Thompson is available for whatever reason, you better go snatch him up.
I'm in leagues with you guys, so that means they're probably gone already.
Dynasty league, he is gone. We're talking redraft, and we're talking
that's a good point.
Deeper benches, because I mean deeper starters. I mean,
Which Shaq? There's so many Shaqs. Thompson,
Shaq Thompson.
Shaq Thompson. All right, get him.
He is a beast. All right, let's see what else we got here. Seattle, they had a handful of injuries, including their center. It's weird because the timetable said he could be out a week or two, just depending on how it goes. Or if it doesn't go good, he could be out up to 8 weeks. So that's just the weirdest timetable that I've ever heard. And hopefully that doesn't affect Russ too much. Clock management in the building. What up, bro? Just killing this news show. Rashad Penny. I didn't even see him get in the game. It was so quick. And they said his calf started tightening up. And they just played it safe and put him out. And I think they're
Rashad Penny, I will never, ever have hope for you again.
Bro, I started hearing rumors about him having a calf injury the week before the season even started. So it was like rumors of that. And then they were talking about Alex Collins might pass him. He didn't. Alex Collins was inactive. And then Penny gets hurt in his first game. Alex Collins, I think, is going to be the guy that they call back up, and he might be interesting.
And really quick, hold on 1 second. So, Bobby, we're not taking questions and answers on start and sits or trades or anything like that. But if you want to get access to that kind of stuff, just go over to Patreon. You're going to get one-on-one access to me, patreon.com/FFHustler420. Go get signed up. You'll get help all throughout the season. And if you can wait, we got a live stream Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I got a lot of live streams coming where we're helping. But these news shows, we're just covering all the news. So any questions, news-related stuff, go ahead and throw them in there. And clock management crying about Mostert. Yeah, we talked about him earlier.
What up? Shout out to Clock.
And then the other injury, besides those two for Seattle, was Dwayne Eskridge, who, I mean, not really going to be doing too much with DK and Lockett out there, but he is in concussion protocol. So that just makes
Dwayne Estrogen.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I see his last name, that's what I read.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Russell Westbrook.
That's funny.
All right. So Seattle, that's what it is. Cleveland, their tackle, Jedrick Willis Jr., going to miss 1 to 3 weeks with the ankle injury. I don't know if he's the left tackle or the right tackle, but he's missing some time.
He's left.
There we go. That's not nice for Baker. Trent Brown for New England with the calf. I think he's going to be missing a couple weeks. We know that's going to hurt them. Definitely going to hurt the rookie.
I have a theory about Trent Brown. He was always high graded in pass pro, but he was with Brady that 1 year. Because remember, my Niners traded him to New England. And then, Brady had the quickest release. So it's like he could have been getting mowed down, but the ball's coming out so quick, it registers as he did well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so stupid. I hate that. Then Trent Brown traded for him again. The dog told him to do it.
Damn, yo. I just seen, why did the Raiders sign Peyton Barber? Were they that worried about Jacobs? Like, what the fuck is going on?
No, but that's also just like, you got to remember when Gruden looks at a player like Peyton Barber, he'd be like, he's a grinder. We got to get that Peyton Barber, man. Hey, man. He brings him in. Hey, man, you're a kind of guy. We like your kind around here. You're going to fit right in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he likes those guys that like never really got a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he doesn't like to win, I guess.
He brought in, look at last year, who did he bring in? One of their offseason signings was what is his name? Theo Riddick. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck are you bringing in Theo Riddick? You know what I'm saying? It's just like
at
least with Drake is like, okay, I see why they're doing that, and they're paying him money. You know what I mean?
I feel like the game's past Gruden, man.
Yeah,
Gruden.
You know, he used to be the Sean McVay.
Yeah,
back in his time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
now he's not even the Pete Carroll.
Ironically, first of all,
borderline Pete Carroll, unless Pete Carroll lets Russ cook like he did in week 1.
And you know what? Pete Carroll's Ellen DeGeneres. I have to say it every time. They're the same person. How does he coach? How does he coach and do a talk show every morning? It's amazing.
Another lineman who is out, Jason Peters for Chicago with the quad, going to miss an extended period of time. Seemed like there was a lot of O linemen who went out in week 1. It was not nice for the O line this week.
For real.
Did JJ Watt leave the game at all? Like I remember I saw that
JJ Watt was out there making some plays, but
I know I saw he had a couple.
Chandler Jones was making plays, bro.
That Cardinals defense looked like shit.
That's why Jones was able to get all those open lanes. Like the defense was big ass JJ Watt was just taking all the attention, and then man, that was ridiculous.
That game
was five times.
Woo! Is Kyler Murray underrated? Like, are we ready to have that conversation? Because I mean, we all know he was good.
Hold on.
Kyler Murray, like
underrated.
This
guy was
Bogard. You have him as your QB1. So anybody who has him under QB1 would be underrated.
I have a problem.
Yeah. Because I had like Josh Allen and Mahomes and these guys over him. I think he looks after seeing him play yesterday. I'm like, shit, man. I should have.
Lamar is great. He could run the ball, but Kyler, you gotta remember, he was drafted to the A's in the first round. Blood. He's a baseball player and he's a football player.
He's a backyard football player. When he escapes the pocket, and then everything dances, and then he throws that touchdown. I'm like,
listen, Russell Wilson ain't even got shit on him, bro.
No,
like this dude,
because he's so fast. He's got the quickness.
Yeah,
that I don't know anyone. Not even Lamar Jackson.
He could threaten 45 to maybe even 5,000 while through the air and threaten like 700 to 1,000 rushing. Bro, like, this is what he could do.
He went 21 of 32 for 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. And then he rushed 5 times for 20 yards and a touchdown. That's ridiculous.
I don't know about top end speed because Lamar might have him there, but I swear Kyler looks like the quickest QB in the NFL.
But you know what? I give some top end speed to have that accuracy that he has and that ability to play. It's like you took. It's like a faster version of Mahomes. That's what Kyler's looking like,
and shorter and a lot shorter.
Who is it? Yeah. When Kyler was a rook, it was a rookie camp, and he raced somebody. Was it Isabella?
The wide receiver?
Yeah, because like this guy is like a 4.3 speed. You know what I mean? Something like that. And bruh, they were like neck and neck. You know what I mean? Because Kyler was like, "Yeah, I'll race you." You know what I mean?
He's like Steamin' Willie Beeman in real life, where he was racing the running back and shit.
Yeah, I bet you I'll beat you.
And how about this though? Rondell Moore had 4 catches for 68 yards, and that's 17 yards per catch. Christian Kirk, 5 catches for 70 yards, 14 yards per catch, and 2 touchdowns. And D-Hop, 6 catches for 83 yards, 13.8 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns. Chase Edmonds, 4 catches for 43 yards, and 10.8 per. And then AJ Green's the only other guy to get some catches, 2 for 25. AJ Green might be the last in the pecking order.
Oh, he is.
But they were looking for him in the red zone though. Like they were looking for him in the end zone multiple times.
That's good. That's good though, because you know what this is he's a veteran that they thought you could trust. Yeah, let's go to him in the end zone. No more. You know what I'm saying? How about this?
Kirk was wide open. I mean, AJ Green and D-Hop. I mean, I swear they had 4 defenders. Combined on both those guys, and that's why Kirk got a little sneaky yesterday.
So who do we think ends up being the number 2 receiver here?
Eventually, Rondell Moore. Eventually, Rondell Moore. No way it's Kirk for me.
Do you know Rondell Moore's snap count?
I don't have a snap count. I just have the receptions here. I can't wait to get that information because that's interesting to me.
Because then by tomorrow I'll be able to tell y'all how much he was in the slot and whatnot. Because I think like I want to see the A dots. Like I swear everything's short. Like because this from just going back to preseason. Preseason he was running with the ones, and they went 3 and out in every possession basically, right? But the first downs or second downs, they're screen passing it, hitting off fucking Rondell over the screen pass. I was like, oh, they're gonna do this. They're gonna do this.
It's gonna get interesting. I think that offense could be one of the best this season. Looking at definitely a top 5 offense.
Here's what's going to be one of their patented plays. It's going to be like a play action. Kyler Murray scampering out of the pocket. Rondell Moore like breaking free somewhere and him just hitting them and then just boom all the way.
I would like it if that ended in a pass to Chase Edmonds for 5 yards or 10 yards and we just keep the chains moving. PPR life, baby. Fuck that.
So boring. We want the big points. We want the big plays.
I'll take those singles all day.
We want them all. It's like see, you guys. It's also about roster construction, right? But that's another conversation. But I will say, they are definitely going to be a top 5 offense. They'll be a top 3 offense on the way I see things, and now they're going to be able to do what they do and have a defense that could tee off on motherfuckers. Like this is dangerous.
This is dangerous.
You know what I mean,
right?
like
the whole NFC West is dangerous.
The Rams was your pick, Bogey. To make it to win the division.
I'm still sticking with the Rams.
Oh, I know you are.
And they look great. And they look great.
Arizona was my pick, though. And Arizona looks like they're going to be able to butt heads with every single team.
Are we really going to discredit Seattle that much, though? Like, Russ can't cook?
I don't think so. I think the defense is the difference in between Seattle and the other two.
I will say, though, I think he's more closer to getting 5,000 through the air this year than he is getting like 700 on the ground. I think because they did say, I mean, this is already one game. He only had 5 rush attempts. So, and he did say in the offseason, I want to use my legs more as a luxury than design plays because he did get hurt. Then he tapered off. He was so top heavy last year.
But that's what scared me is that he was a little fun too. Yeah, but you know what? His passing accuracy, I think his ability to make plays outside of the pocket, like when everything broke down. Yeah, that's such a difference.
From anywhere on the field, bro.
He looked like Mahomes. It was like, oh, you're going to attack
all the arm angles, everything, bro.
Yeah,
and you already know, we're reacting like crazy to the new 17-game, season. As of right now, he's on pace to throw 68 touctouchdowns.
Let's go.
I thought you were going to go 5,000 yards.
James Winston's on pace to throw 70.
What was his yards on the
289.
280.
He's just a shade below that 5,000.
Let's go.
Shade below that 5,000. Right now, he's
so much Kyler Murray.
He's on pace. He's on pace to throw 4,913 yards. So
listen, I have a keeper league, right?
Money.
I have a keeper league.
And Vanessa, we're going to get to your question in a second. I got you.
Yeah, okay. I'll make this quick. It's a keeper league. It's only 10 teams. Big money league. Wiseman's in it. You know what I'm saying? A Steamboat. It's all the homies. Motherfuckers have known each other for all our lives, real life shit, right? And it's dumb. It's Yahoo one. Everything locks up at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, so you have to make all your moves. I picked up Gronk because same thing. Things lock up on a Sunday, so everyone I played on Thursday, they're out there. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm swap a Gronk. And then I'm like, shit, I need to get a kicker. I forget to do it. I'm doing a Sunday morning show. So then everything's locked. I'm like, damn, I don't know kicker, but my team is so crazy. And Kyler Murray is like when he was going crazy, I was like, I'm good. I'm being a dude by 100 points. And I don't even have no kicker.
Damn.
Fuck kickers, by the way.
Man, kickers need love too.
Nah, not around here. Not around
these
Not
parts.
around here.
Yo, hold on.
How about with the crazy overreaction, JC Money Design Chandler Jones on pace for 85 sacks.
Yeah, dial it up.
How about their James Edmonds, the RB1 status? He was dominating that backfield because Connor was not looking great. Chase Edmonds had 6. He had 12 carries.
I thought he said James Edmonds, like he was.
He did say James Edmonds. There was a hybrid of both the running backs.
I said Chase, but they were melded into one at one point.
Like Pokemon and shit, bro. Like they're fucking
fusion. You know what I mean? Like
there it is. I'm never into Pokemon, but my kids fuck with it, so I know these things now.
Yeah, bro. It was a wave, man. It was a wave. I think Chase Edmonds is averaging 5.2 yards per carry, and then he still added 4 catches, and he got 10 yards on those. I think he's going to be an interesting play this year. He's someone that I definitely might, especially with seeing Kyler playing like that. I want to target him.
Kyler got all kind of weapons to take the top off. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like the running back, I still think, though, the running back's going to be affected by Kyler in the red zone. If the running back score touchdowns, like Chase Edmonds, probably going to be a long bomb. You know what I mean? Or like a dump off that he takes to the house or something. You know what I mean?
If he's able to get you like 60 yards rushing and then 4 catches for like 40, that's like you're looking at what 14 points.
Yeah, you're looking at a solid RB2 every week. And you get a touchdown or 2 even.
Yeah,
I just think the Russian they're going to be a throwing ass team. I like this.
Sure.
Bro. Look at the top 2 teams that make to the Super Bowl last year were the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. They were like 26 and 27 in rush attempts. You know what I mean? Not to say that they didn't run the ball. They better passing the ball. So that was the game plan.
Whose offense would you rather have? The Rams offense or the Cardinals offense?
I'd rather have the Rams because the Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury is still a fucking idiot, dude. This is week 1. They've been game planning this one game all off season. Mm-hmm. If you remember last year, they come out, they kick my Niners ass, bro. And then week 2, they barely beat Washington because Washington has good defense. Then week 3, they get stumped out by the Panthers. So it was like, what is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Kingsbury is a fool, but they have a good defense, so they're going to be able to make up for a lot of their mistakes. Mm-hmm. I got to see more. I'm not going to jump all the way out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I love it though. I love it because I have Kyler as my number 1. I love all this. You know what I mean? But as far as who's better offense, the Rams.
I love Kyler and I love Hopkins. Outside of that, I'd really take everything about the Rams, including the coach calling the plays. Because Kingsbury. We'll see what happens in the future. I hope Kyler Murray can overcome a little bit of shitty play calling, but we already see he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And Stafford looked real like a great fit in that Rams offense. Those 60-yard passes he was getting is just like, really? Bonus.
Yeah, and Robert Woods with that crazy toe tapping, reaching up to the top of the ceiling, basketball catch right underneath the hoop.
Oh, what a steal from Hendo, though, because we were all like, oh, shit, Henderson's about to run this in. I was getting a little sad, and then Woods got it, and I was like, yes, let me get this win.
Hey, listen, I'm glad Henderson got one too, though.
Me too.
It's like it's just good to have a running back on an offense that's going to get in the scoring positions all the time.
Mm-hmm. And he dominated the backfield, although it's week 1, and we got to see what happens because Sony just got there. But he dominated
when Sony
backfield.
came out is when they were smacking. They were smacking it like.
And he came in for one run, and that was it.
Yeah.
And he came back and he tapped him in like, now you out, bro.
It's a totally different type of offense. He's only used to the Patriots offense, and who knows how long it took him to get it there because he wasn't like the running back coming out dominating. Right?
Yeah, he was. Remember the rookie? His only year to have him was his rookie year. Remember?
I thought it was like second half of that season.
He came in balling.
Okay,
he had a good Super Bowl, but I mean, let's face it. Bill,
no, I'm talking about in fantasy in 2018. He came through balling.
Didn't he get hurt that year though? And something happened to him.
Start the year? Was it to start the year? He was hurt. No, I know. Burkhead was suspended to start the year. I remember that. Right? Something like that. Either way, I just remember that was the year he was balling.
I know he balled that year. I thought he just got off to a little bit of a slower start. Maybe my memory serves me wrong. All right, and so we got to get to Vanessa. Vanessa, thank you for being a YouTube member. Appreciate you.
Yeah, shout out to Vanessa.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Juwan Johnson? Not sure if I missed it. Sorry, I missed your question earlier. I think it might have been on a Facebook or something. So, always make sure you're watching on YouTube if you can because your name pops up a little bit different on here with the membership badge. I like Juwan Johnson. He's one of my on my tight end waiver wire video. I don't think he's going to be getting 2 touchdowns every week. I think we got to bank on him scoring it. He's going to be touchdown dependent. So I think he's going to be more of a backup right away.
I'm a little mad myself because I was holding on to Juwan Johnson in a lot of places, and I just released him for like other bullshit that I was speculating on because I was like, you know what? Adam Troutman's going to come back soon. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with Juwan Man Johnson? And so I cut his ass.
Underrated movie.
I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So I cut his ass, and now like he goes and has 2 touchdowns, so I'm mad because at least if I had him, I'd pedal him so fast because someone's buying him.
No, think about it. He only had 3 catches for 21 yards and 2 touchdowns. That seems more lucky than good.
He was wide open though. Like that's the thing. Like
that's what I'm saying. Lucky than good. You lucky he was open.
Well, I mean, who you get? I mean,
Then you're gonna
Kamara
get
might have
Michael
been triple
Thomas.
teamed in that situation. You know, Callaway probably had double coverage on him, and so he's fourth in that pecking order.
He's finding the open man.
I think he'll be wide open a lot with the with guys like Kamara demanding all that attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy? Winston really only had 148 yards passing and 20 attempts in this game. Like,
He had nothing.
Very efficient.
yeah,
You know
Like-
what? That's like Russell Wilson numbers, bruh.
yeah.
Remember Russell Wilson like 2018, 2019? He's throwing the ball like 25 times in a game.
Kamara
Throwing the ball
only had
like
3
18 times in a game, and he's had like 4 touchdowns.
Kamara only had 3 catches for 8 yards in this game.
Well, you got your 3.8. Be happy.
Oh,
We'll take
geez.
it.
That wasn't in the game plan. I just felt maybe they knew they were going to be able to smack him in the mouth because Green Bay's run defense was pretty garbage last year.
Yeah, I don't know why
20
they were really
rushes.
garbage. Yeah.
20
But
rushes
Suda.
for 83 yards, 4.2. I mean, that's a great rush line. I mean, needed a touchdown in there, but still good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I mean, oof.
How
Mhm.
about Marshawn Latimer going out with the thumb, and he's going to be missing a couple weeks? Last year, when he went out, the Saints were like the team to play for your wide receivers when he was out.
Yep. I'm saying I love this because I also love this for everyone on the other side for infamous Winston, bro. I want him throwing the rock a ton. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you know what's crazy? The Callaway shit. I bet you you might be able to find Callaway on the waiver, bro. And I'm picking him up hella fast. This
But
kid,
It was a rough matchup, Jair.
Yeah.
Alexander.
We said it too.
For me, we talked about it.
I know. You know what sucks? I threw him out there in a couple matchups, bro.
I played.
You
I
didn't even listen to our because you and I were going back and forth.
Yeah.
And you were like, maybe Jair Alexander won't be covering him the whole time, but Jair Alexander.
That was actually what you said. You said, well, he might not be covering him the whole time, and I said,
No. I said he's probably going to be
record.
shadowing him. I said he's going to be shadowing him because Jair Alexander, he's trying to get that Ramsey money. You know, like he's trying to become that like lockdown.
You know what?
Corner.
This is accurate. I think this might be accurate.
Like,
But he shut his ass down just like I called. I said he's gonna get Jair Alexander.
So when you go up against the Green Bay Packers, whoever's the number one wide receiver on that team, you expect a little bit of a decrease in that.
Yeah, they have the Panthers next week. Fire up Callaway. Yes.
oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a situation where you're gonna see Tony Jones rushing in for 35 times because damn, that offense looks a lot more conservative this year.
I don't know, man.
They were up so early.
Yeah.
And I mean, why wouldn't you do that against Green Bay and just try to grind the clock away? Like that was just big to the plan when they went up early.
I mean, he literally couldn't sustain any type of drive, bro. Fucking Darren Rodgers. This is not the real guy.
No, somebody called State Farm.
I know. It was like when Chris Paul had those two personalities. Like there's definitely a good Rodgers, which is Aaron, and then Darren Rodgers.
Yes. This Darren Rodgers.
Who is the hippie stoner. I need to find the picture.
Hey.
I have a picture of Aaron Rodgers walking up to the line. I had to pause it. It was back when I had DirecTV. He comes up to the line, and here's his like hot route. Look at me.
Yeah,
that was his hot route. Like he was smoking a joint, and I was like, "Bro, did he just like point at him and like smoke him? I'm throwing it to you, or
I've
something
even
like
seen
that."
him go
Like,
like this. I remember my cousin. He used to, you know, what I'm saying, you know what I mean, and like there's one Aaron Rodgers. He goes like this. He goes, and he's like, he did the pipe, bro.
I'm telling you, man. I
was like, a dope pipe.
Bro, and I think it's only fitting with the hair that he got going on now that he's rolling that way. He's hippie Rodgers, bro. He's embraced the whole role. He was ready to retire. He was probably doing yoga in a beach in California for a while. You know what I mean? He has a movie star girlfriend. Like this dude is
hanging out playing golf with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
and, like, Tom Brady cracking jokes on him. Like that shit was funny.
Yeah. Oh man. It's going to be an interesting season, man. You know what game really had me going crazy? The Vikings and Bengals. I felt that game coming in. I thought the Vikings should win it. Like, you know, let's face it, the Vikings are a team that should
hit the music. Sergio Mix-a-Lot.
Oh, Jesus.
Hit the music.
Joey.
He likes touchdowns and he cannot lie. My man, Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot. Everybody hates him.
It's
I
true.
love him.
It's true. I got made fun of all of last year because I drafted him, and look at him now this year when I don't have him. That fuck face.
And Vikings defense
would be better.
Looks bad. The Vikings
suspect.
really bad.
Daniil Hunter's a baller. They're missing Anthony Barr, who is one of the cornerstones of their linebacker crew. I didn't even really see Patrick Peterson doing too much out there. He might be a little bit old and washed. Yeah, Vikings. I don't know what's up with them, but they might be the team to stream everything players against. Yeah.
Joey B went 20 for 27 for 261 and 2 touchdowns, and Joey Mixon carried it 29 times for 127 yards.
I was going to say
4.4 per carry.
Look, so when you have a bell cow running back, your efficiency, their numbers should show your efficiency, and that's what it is when you see 20 for 27 for Joey B.
Interceptions on top of that. Like,
let's go.
He was beautiful. That's a beautiful game.
Oh.
You cannot ask for more from your quarterback.
Zach Taylor, he's a Sean McVay disciple.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to the best of his ability, everything he's trying to do, like, looks like the Rams and shit. And like, this
could be interesting.
Zach Taylor was the OC when he had Todd Gurley those years that Todd Gurley was doing Todd Gurley things. You know what I mean? So like, that's why I was always like, if Joe Mixon stays healthy, they're gonna use him like this. Look at that, 29 carries. That means he's in there like the 80%. He's
and how about this?
86% of the snap count.
We killed this Bengals team for not drafting offensive line. They said, what are you doing? How are you going to get any time? What's going to happen? Jamar Chase, leading receiver, 5 catches, 101 yards, 20 yards per catch, 1 touchdown, and the offense is averaging 4.4 yards per carry. I mean,
that deep bomb, he toasted him on that deep bomb. Like, he looked like he was 20 yards behind him, and they had to slow down a little bit, to catch the ball.
It's crazy. We killed these Bengals, but they may have done it right. They may have done it right.
Their defense, I mean, they didn't really shut down Adam Thielen. He did have 2 touchdowns. I mean, Jefferson, not too big of a game. I mean, they were shutting down the defense or the wide receivers so much that KJ Osborne was a thing for Minnesota. And he's not always going to be, but if you play in a deep league and you're going up against a team that has 2 good cornerbacks, KJ Osborne might be a thing again.
That's fucking.
He was a dude with the
Osborne's son, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I see them make a play,
that crazy train.
Bro, I was watching them make some plays. I was like, is that Dalvin Cook? I said that like twice because I didn't see who was like in red zone, to be cutting in. And you just see some plays and you're like, who the hell is that? Because he looks dynamic. He was making some flashy plays and he's interesting.
He was drafted. He was a receiver. He was drafted somewhere else. I forgot, but he was like a 2nd round receiver drafted somewhere else that got cut. You know what I mean? But he was shining in camp. I remember I picked him up and dropped him a couple leagues. You know how I do. Just bored in the
some early dynasty hype.
Yeah. Real talk. Like, I'm gonna let him go. KJ Osborne, Ozzy Osbourne's son.
Oh, he was the Hurricane. Huh. Look at that.
There you go.
If he has one more good game, we're gonna get a
Miami.
crazy train drop just for him.
Yes, and then I want him to be a thing after that.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
So we're gonna be hunting Vikings all season, right? That's gonna be that's the thing. We're gonna be hunting Vikings and Jets. Viking, Jets, and 49ers at this point.
Nah, listen, man. I wouldn't. The
if
West
garbage
Coast,
time
the
golf
traveling
could get 33.
The traveling teams on defense, they're not the greatest week 1. You know what I mean? So
and that a lot of traveling offenses were garbage too.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not. It's week 1. It's great data because then you could see where things drastically improve. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's just like come on. Aaron Rodgers comes out, puts up a dud against that Saints defense. The Saints defense is good, but come on, like.
How about the Titans not showing up on offense at all? No Derrick Henry, no nothing.
See, the game got out of hand for them quick. Then they just outright abandoned the run. There was a whole drives with Jeremy McNichols.
Oh my God, it broke my heart. I don't think I regret drafting Henry.
Hey, listen,
and Arizona, you better be careful about playing your players versus Arizona, especially the run game.
Let me ask y'all something. Is there a world where this is Aaron Rodgers and not Darren Rodgers' evil twin brother? where he is just like, yeah, fuck this team.
Devontae Adams is not going to be going up against Marshawn Latimer for 17 times in a season. Like we're talking about,
he shut him down. He limited him every time he's played. They played each other like 3 times in their career. One time it was with Brett Hundley though, but still.
Marshawn Latimer limits everybody in history. If you are going up against Marshawn Latimer, pump the brakes.
But also, let's factor this in. Aaron Rodgers over the last couple of years has had a running game to lean on to open up some plays.
I got to shake, y'all. I just looked at the time. I got to shake.
Well, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to get out of here anyway. So we're gonna sign off. Don't forget, there's a daily show coming back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Picks for tonight.
Yeah, we already know what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, let's go. Mike Tyson. He's Mike Tyson Williams. Tyson Williams. They're going to knock him out.
That's my RB1. That's my RB1.
Let's get it. That's the prediction for tonight.
Yes.
The prediction.
10 points. May the fantasy gods be with us.
The prediction for tonight is pain.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the